Let's give this one a try. So every year I seem to do this, don't I? I seem to start talking about the other big love of my life that isn't wrestling, it's Formula One. I'm a massive Formula One fan. Every year I start doing, every year, no, I didn't last year, I've tried to do it before in the past. I've tried to talk about Formula One, and as the season goes on, it's like, yeah, no one cares, no one cares, no one cares. No one wants, it's interesting, right? There's so much more to me than just wrestling. I know. Big wrestling fan, but there's so much more to me than that, and there's so many vids that I'd love to try and do that just no one would watch, because every time I've ever tried to do a series on anything that isn't wrestling, people just haven't given a shit. It really is that simple. But hey, I've been uploading the BritWrest vids and no one seems to watch those, so I figured, I'd get this opinion out. I wanted to share my opinion. So it's the new season. It's weird because it feels like 5 minutes since the last one finished, but also feels like such a long time. We're in Australia for the first round. In qualifying and in practice, which I watched both of, one of the only benefits of being unemployed, I suppose, is when qualifying is on at 6 in the morning. It's not a problem to watch. It's not like you have to be up for work an hour later, you know what I mean? In practice, Vettel looked ridiculously superior, and it was one of those, oh no. Because I don't know if I've mentioned this on a vid before, but I'm a massive Ferrari fan. I've got no problem with Vettel, I've got no problem with Red Bull, I just don't like it when people win every single race. I like different winners. I like different, outcomes. Everyone knows it's better for the season, so the season finale to decide the championship, and the championships to be wrapped up in August. No one wants to see that. So when Vettel was so dominant, it was like, oh, this isn't good. And then on Saturday, of course, for qualifying, it rained. Must have been a bit of a ball ache. I mean, I stayed up all night and watched the qualifying, then went to bed. I feel for the people who went to bed and then got up and saw Q1, which was delayed by half an hour and then postponed. That must have been a pain in the arse. I feel for you, I really do. When qualifying eventually happened on the Sunday, I thought it was good because we got qualifying twice in one day, which was brilliant. I enjoyed that. Just qualifying and the race 6 hours apart. I'm not going to complain about something like that, So now on to the race. Big news over the off-season was Lewis Hamilton's move to Mercedes, wasn't it? Everyone knew that. I mean, little things like Adrian Sutil coming back into the sport was an interesting one, because I've never ever rated the guy. I've never ever thought, yeah, he was really good. To the point where when I got F1 2012 from Xbox, I played that for a bit, didn't enjoy it very much because the cars are very, very hard to handle. So I went back to 2011. I'm just finishing off a season on that at the moment on the career mode. Then I'm going to go back to 2012 and really give it 2012 a try. The point of this little tiny tale is that Adrian Sutil is on 2011, and it's every time I race on that game, it's like, oh yeah, Adrian Sutil, Adrian Sutil. I'd actually completely forgotten about him. That's how irrelevant he was, That's how good I thought Sutil was. Worryingly, at the start, Vettel missioned away, built up a 2-second gap at the end of the first lap, and it really was another one of those. Oh, here we go again. It's 2011 all over again. Vettel missions off, but no, Lewis Hamilton made a decent start as well, and the 2 Ferraris went chasing after him. Of course, I'm happy as punch about this because, as I said, massive Ferrari fan, and they all made it around the first corner, which I was genuinely surprised about. And then this race, because of the new tyres, was always going to be about how many pit stops you do. Most people opted to do a 3-stop race, and you'd think that would make perfect sense. The super soft tyres only managed to do like 5 or 6 laps, and then were pretty much finished. The difference was that Kimi Raikkonen, who did 2 stops, at 2 stops even, and that was obviously a massive difference. I'm chuffed as you can be about Kimi winning that one. I think the story of this match. That's the wrestling reviewer in me. I was impressed with Sutil. I genuinely was. He led a lot of laps and he looked good doing it. But of course, the problem was with him is that as soon as he put the soft tyres on, the super softs, he had absolutely no pace at all, which was absolutely. It must have been quite gutting for the boy. It must have really been, mustn't it? Only a couple of retirements as well, which is interesting. Pastor Maldonado spun off onto the grass, didn't he? And Nico Rosberg pulled over at one, which was bad. Hamilton did all right. I thought Hamilton was looking okay. I think the way he's been downplaying his move and how his chances are this season is a very wise thing to do. He's been constantly saying, we're not going to win races. We might get the odd podium, but we're not going to challenge for the championship. We're going to put all the focus is on the 2014 car, and our championship quest will begin then. But Nico was incredible in the wet, absolutely incredible in practice. He was setting fastest laps at will, which was just, I haven't got any notes here, by the way. This is just me waffling. These are just the results I've got in front of me, just so I'm not going to say, Rubens Barrichello won the race. I wouldn't do that, but at the same time, I am a fucking moron, as we all know. It's one of those races I really, actually, genuinely enjoyed. I think for pure drama, a safety car or a bit of rain would have made it better. But at the same time, there are things that I'm not going to go, I wish it had rained in that match. God, in that race. I'm such an idiot. Fuck. I just can't talk. I just can't. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. I like Australia. On the racing games, I love driving there. Absolutely love it. It's one of my absolute favourite tracks to drive. And it's a street circuit, and it's one of those things. All the practice sessions were fun, and qualifying was, well, it must have been frustrating, but at the same time, it made it exciting because it was different, the different conditions and all that. Rain mixes everything up at the best of times at a race, doesn't it? And it's all good. Felipe Massa must feel a bit fucked off, mustn't he? Because he drove so well this weekend. He drove, like the Felipe Massa of old, and he was ahead of Alonso, and because he was ahead of Alonso, he got the choice of the first pit stop. But in the end, through no fault of his own, he finished quite a way back behind his teammate, didn't he? And that must have really fucked him up. If that had been me, I would be really, really, really fecked off with that. But the thing about it is, at the same time, I would also feel very buoyed up. I'd be like, look, this is what I've done today. If he can repeat this through his whole season, he's not going to be the pushover for Fernando that he's been this last couple of seasons, in my opinion. Oh, it's all good. So yeah, I didn't think DRS did anything really much. I thought having the 2 DRS zones would make a big difference, and DRS didn't really come into play that much, which was a bit, I don't know. I'm still very much on the fence with the DRS, but if anyone's wondering, I think KERS is a wonderful addition to Formula 1. I think it's really, really good. DRS, I'm still not sure about, because I think it makes overtaking that little bit too easy. It's not. I was about to say it's meant to mean so you can catch up your opponent and then overtake him, but it's just made it so that it's just a simple overtaking move. Your car, I'm sorry to keep using my own experience on a computer game as a thingy, but most of the time, if you're being overtaken by someone who's got their DRS open, there is no defense. They've just got so much more straight line speed that you just go sailing past. So on the flip side, you could say that wasn't a problem today. It was used to help keep people up. At the same time, there was times, especially when Vettel was being hunted down, that the DRS would be open on the car behind him, and he'd still stay in front. And they close up the gap just a little bit, but not very much. It wasn't very effective here today, is what I'm trying to say. I'm really excited about this season. I'm at the start of every season. The last 3 seasons have been absolutely wonderful. So we're living through a great time in Formula 1, and we're at Malaysia next weekend, which is fucking brilliant. I've rambled a lot. I haven't had any notes. I just thought I wanted to say that I really enjoyed this race, and I buzz off F1 and do you, basically. So I'm going to try and keep doing these because, like I say, I've enjoyed doing this one quite a bit. It's been fun talking about F1 and calling it a match instead of a race. I'm just that stupid. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that subscribe button. My next vid will be a raw review on Tuesday. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all very soon. Oh, and before I go, just in case anyone is still watching this, because I'm sure there isn't, I'm sure the audience retention graph I get for this vid will be like... But anyway, 950 subscribers. I'll mention this again on my raw review, I'm sure, but 50 away from 1,000. So start thinking about those questions you want for your Q&A. I've been Mark P. Take it easy, guys.